Testing, testing, take 6. Midnight hours. We get some stuff done right now. All the kids are in bed. Unfortunately, they're both sick. That sucks. Wife's been taking care of them today. I worked on a Saturday. And, well, I decided, you know what? I'm going to come down to the shop and get a little bit done on the 96. I painted this bad boy about a week ago. And since then, I just put mirrors on, door panels, some of the stuff of that nature. I think you guys saw that in the last video. Since then, I grabbed some more movies so I could put a movie on while I'm working down here in the shop. But I also have the new headlights. That is upside down. The new headlights. That is correct right there. I went with something that had kind of a light bar fixture in there. And then, even though I don't have the bed, I got some new taillights. Yeah, look at that. It even came with a little box. Don't know much about that little box, but apparently you need it for the LEDs that are going to be popping out the back. But we got to install the headlights is my goal tonight. It should be simple. We just got to tag in the light bar thing. And then we also got some goodies right here. Company hit me up, said, hey, I want to get involved with you. What do you need? So I went through their catalog of second gen items and checked out what we're running here. This one is I'm kind of excited about. This is a factory 2500 Dodge. It doesn't have helper springs or nothing on the back. No overloads. It's not a camper special. It's a simple unit. And there's things that I want to do to check some boxes of stuff I've always wanted with this truck. It's got 410 factory gearing. Unfortunately, it's got a freaking brand new rebuilt rear end under the back. Man, 410s. This thing, 410s are nice in the new 3500s. I'll get you. Not a big deal. But in this rig, 65 mile an hour is pretty much all it's realistically got. So I'd like to put new rear ends and front end under it. I do have a fresh Dana 80 354 gear, but unfortunately I put the front end out of that fresh unit underneath that green truck I redid a couple years ago. Anyway, we're getting off subject. It doesn't have helper springs in the back. It doesn't have the overloads. So I always wanted to put airbags on it and a fish wheel hitch or gooseneck hitch. But there's some complications when it comes down to some of that stuff. But this kit right here is going to make it a lot nicer. Let's open the bottom box first. How do we get to that? To make it ride better, handle the weight better. I was never a believer in these things until I set them up, and I am a fan now. This company, Max Speeding Rods right here. It's kind of, didn't expect it to be blue in all honesty, but you know. But to make it even cooler, to suit up in 96 even more, we got wire them. We got wires, more fittings. Oh, I still got, each one of these I've got from my tack brake kits over the years. It is the snipper for your 1/4-inch airlines. It's even got the good metal push lock airline fittings. It's got the T's. Oh, it's even for the valve stem. It's got, man, that's nice when you get the gear and it's not the chintzy plastics, you know, quick lock things. But we're going to have the airbags are going to be sauced up with onboard air compressor. It's a little fella. It's not going to air up your tires. It's just for airing up your bags. You know, your bag's tight. Speaking of which, I better go fire up the coffee. Let's get the night started off right. Found brand new ones of these on eBay for a price I wasn't gonna hesitate on. If I were to try it more often, I'd probably lose it. 2 fingers, it's got a perfect line for you to follow. Twister right there. And on the frame, I have no idea the number of owners and such that had this truck before I did, and only spent about 9 months in Wyoming. And I don't know if in that time, just the salt and crap they throw on the roads out there attacked the poor frame on this.
But before I do anything, and by the way, it's got these on it, which I don't know if I want to trust and put rails on it. I don't like rails. I'd rather just ditch those, put a B&W on there, and just go for it. But I got some 415 at the house. You got to spray some more acid on it, wash it off, spray acid, something. It's process. Before we do any of that, we have to do, we got to get this frame treated before we go too far. And somehow, out of all the trucks, this one is literally, I don't know, not in the greatest shape as far as the paint still on it. So we're going to add these on it. Got these off of a parts truck, but they're regular cab. The bolt holes line up, except for this one has got a different spot. You see how this one's level with the front one? That body mount, and then this one back here goes up. That's what this one's chasing right here. And we have to do some modifying if we want this to work, and I don't know if we're gonna get it, to be honest with you, because those are level out this way, and that one sticks in. See what I'm saying? See what I'm getting at? I don't think it's gonna work. Because it just dawned on me that these are different sizes. See the width? It's too deep. I'm gonna open that up and see what that entails to shorten that. Might be more work than it's worth. All right, after a bunch of calculations, these bad boys are 2.5 inches different from end to end. Woo, it's gonna get loud. And I only need 1.5 inches difference to put it in there. I was just gonna abort mission, but let's just use them. We're here. So this is what the front ones look like. This is what the back ones look like. And I don't need them to look like that anymore because they don't need to drop an extra 2 inches. So here's the modified one, and I'm gonna show you real quick how I did that. This Simdar plasma cutter is actually kind of a hoss. Kind of digging it. Sure. Bolt kind of fits through. Clean it up with grinder, she's good. Oh. What do you guys think? It's gonna have a little bit more guzzling back there, and we'll have to drill for a brace. But for what we're doing, I think that's pretty dang nice. I just need to, well, we got a weld down here because we cut the original weld off. That I had a parts truck that had any kind of running gear, side steps, whatever, running boards. Is that what I'm looking for? Yeah. I was stoked that these lined up remotely close. Flying around. Oh yeah. Those will work. No idea. Never used it. But everybody told me to try it. There's another box here. Bottle. There we go. 3-step process. POR 15, pour 15, the black. We're going to try it. Last video I said I was going to try it, and some people said don't try it. Do try it. I don't know. So you can tell the frame lost its paint. I already hit this thing with a rust treatment killer. And then I decided we need a little bit more, and I did a little bit of wire wheeling. But you can see all these spots that are white. That's from the stuff I put on there before. So we're going to hit this with a degreaser. I went ahead and made sure the cab's a little bit protected. And we'll see how it does. Might need a glove, to be honest with you. Oh yeah, that's going on good. Real good. One of my buddies, actually two of my buddies have offered beds, and one of them's local, and I know the bed is in mint condition, from what I remember. It's been parked for 5 years. So I'm going to get that from him later this week. And this is good shit. We are going to just scuff and spray it because it's so mint. It's got good paint on it as far as I remember. I'm hoping. But I want to have this thing treated so I can put the bed right on it. And I got some other goodies I need to add as well. And it got slightly crushed. Hopefully, why does this weigh so much? This is an exciting part right here. Except I don't have all the hardware. I lost the screws for the side things. We'll find them at some point. For some reason, this is like a thick grill. Need a couple more, we're good. But right now we need to go wash this stuff off and then spray the other stuff on. Just rinsed it all off. You get the idea. Water, hit, frame, rinse off, dry, speed dry. Spray the etching stuff on there. What is this? Metal prep. Metal etching rust neutralizer. Yeah. There's the stuff. Metal prep. Remove surface rust. All right. It's non-flammable, water-based, reusable. Okay, I don't know how we're going to use that, but let's party. Kind of the rust, the other stuff kind of made this look like crap. Let's see what this does. It says to put this on here and leave it wet. And it's got to stay wet for 20 minutes. Ooh. Really let it soak in. It said, if you get it on the paint, get it off quick. This stuff smells exactly like the other stuff I use. Where is it? I wonder if it's the same stuff. I got a whole gallon of it. Rust cutter right there. Put it in that little hoopty. It smells exactly like it. Terrible. Well, this is what it says to do. Rinse it off. Rinse that wheel off too. Let it sit on there for about 20-25 minutes. Kept her wet. Freaking so cold out here. Hose can't stand a chance. Roll it back in there, let it dry completely, and then we'll come back down, start brushing her on. Look what the acid started doing. That's what it says to do. See you guys when this thing is dry. I feel a lot better about that now. Wow. I was kind of leery on it because that stuff in the bucket is pretty thin. But I started doing a little bit of a touch-up coat on a couple spots, and it is extremely tacky. So I did a pretty good job of what I want to get, and I got what can easily be accessed on the frame. Got the front. Mainly, honestly, straight up concerned about getting the rear frame because it's going to have a bed on it and cap all that on. So I'm going to get the rattle can and just touch up some of the spots I can't get into with the paintbrush. And I mean, we're good to go. Next thing, put those airbags on. We had to put these airbags on before we put the bed on, or else it's going to be a lot more effort to do it the other way around. And this thing already has fifth wheel rails welded to this. I mean, the brackets for the fifth wheel rails already welded to the frame. I don't really think I'm going to be towing goose with this thing, but in case I do, I'll just put the rails on. I don't like the rails, but when it comes down to second gens and putting airbags and a gooseneck hitch in it, they don't really blend together very good unless you just overlap them. So we're going to go ahead and go this route. And I want this thing to be a tow rig again. And this needs to go to the inside. So that'll be my side is the inside. So we'll do it like this. Nope, my side's the inside. Yep, okay. So this is how we are going to configure this bad boy. I'd rather have the airbags than the goose, especially with the second gen. I don't plan on towing heavy. Oh, that's the wrong side bolt right there, gentlemen. It's nice the kit comes with multiple different sizes for your straps, for depending on what kind of spring leafs you're running. In this case, I don't have the overload springs on it. I thought about putting them on, but I put an airbag, so might as well not even go through the extra effort. In the case that you don't have the overloads to strap to, which are be for the small ones would go around your overload springs, your camper special. But if you don't have the overloads, you'll go over your regular ones, and this is your spacer block. It goes right on top of your leaf. But we need to get this thing mocked up and slapped together because we need to double check before we tighten up the bottoms that we are going to line up somewhat close. And then torque her down. Just give her, there's the other bolt right there on the ground. Go back to it, double hit those with the wrench, but to speed the process up. Beautiful. Now, for some reason, these second gens got a little right here in the frame. I don't know what it's for, but I can tell you what, it kind of sucks putting stuff on the side of it because, well, you got to shim it. So, as it sits, we need just a tiny little bit of a shim, which ain't no big deal. We're just going to find a spot right here we like. That way down here hits good. We need one shim down there. Oh. Machine back there. Let's get that thing back there. Take a clamp this right here to the frame, start drilling. Boom, boom, that baby is installed. Drilled 2 holes here, 2 holes here, put a shim. I don't know if that shim's really doing much there, but it's in there. And then you got to make sure you don't hit nothing on the back side. Choose accordingly, you know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, let's finish this airbag install. I'm going to check, make sure my fittings right here are good to go because they're a little bit, like the 1/8 inch MPT was just like slightly less than that. I don't know if we got like a metric taper or what. But I just wanted to make sure my extra Teflon on there did the job. So I made a little jumper right here. Now typically, This is a big controversial thing. Guys just get hell-bent on this confusion. When you're putting airbags on your truck, you have one valve stem. A lot of guys will just put a valve stem here or run it all the way to the back and air it up back there. One for each side. Guys be like, oh, you need to have one for each side. In case one blows, you have to sell the other one. No. Doesn't make any sense, because if you lose one line, then the truck's sitting tilted. That's not a good load to start the day off with or finish it or no matter what. The chances are if you lose one bag, you're gonna drop this one too, just so you got an even disbursement rather than tilted truck. So I always run one valve stem back in here anyway. So you just run a center to a T, go to the back. And that's what it's gonna come down to today for putting the air compressor kit in. It's gonna go to a T anyway. So having one valve stem back here and having a mobile compressor or stopping at the gas station and pumping it up is no different than having an onboard air like this one. So we'll get this bolted to the frame, start throwing some wire, start throwing some hose. So the compressor, I was going to place this bad boy right here, but the bolts for the exhaust bracket are in the way. So we're going to our next best spot. I kind of wanted to keep it away from the cab just a little bit, just in case it's noisy, which I don't know if it will be or not, but I think we're gonna stick it right up in there. Came with a little clamp thing to go around the frame, but it ain't big enough for that spread. So what I'm gonna do is drill some holes, put some rib nuts in it. Nice. Sweet. Inlet, outlet's going to be backwards, which is unfortunate, but the filter's going to be right there. So it'll be protected. We'll figure it out. All right, now that we got that bad boy taken care of, let's figure out where we're going to run this line. Now this should be fine to run over the top of the frame, just like that. We'll run this bag girls right here. That's pretty well isolated there. Let's go ahead and use this other end of the hose. Oh, no. Oh, do we got a spot? Nope, we don't. Dang it. Kind of where we need it. No, honestly, what are we worried about? That'll be fine right there. We're going to snip it here, tuck it in, go down the frame, and kick out through the frame right there. Use these little clips that they give you. The little snippers make it a lot nicer. You get those cuts nice and square. That little device helps with that, but still, you gotta get it just right. Okay. Thought I was gonna have way too much wire. Took me 20 minutes to put the wire loom on it and circled it all around. It just laying there, gotta zip it up. But we got a little bit extra. Don't be afraid to cut the wire so you don't have a bunch of crap underneath the hood. Even still, we're gonna have a little bit of extra. Little bit. Anyway, power, ground, that's somewhere down here. And then the pink one goes underneath the hood. So it has a key on power source. Boom, boom. One of these doodads that plugs right into your fuse panel. And it has a little crimp connector on the end. Don't be afraid to cut that off and put one of these heat shrink solder units on there. Those are much better. Hold, consistent, and they are weather tight. Soldered. Well, let's turn the key on. Compressor came on. There we go, working a little better. Truck is rising. Oh yeah, that is slick. 25 PSI last I looked there. $29. Take her down to nothing. That's cool. Little arrow should say, oh, what the heck. Yeah, a little arrow flashing right there is a working arrow. I'm excited. Just the fact that it goes. That was honestly a pretty easy install. Hardest part was putting the wire loom over the wire. Find a spot for this bad boy. That job done.